Hello, everybody. This is Magzilla coming at you. We are now in week 11 of the NCAA college gymnastics season, men's gymnastics. Da, da, da. Yeah, so today is Saturday, the 16th of March. I wanted to go quick recap last week, which was March 9th, 10th. Um, I did not. I usually do a recap like midweek, but didn't get to it this week. Been very busy. But no big deal. I don't think much people are like, you know, waiting for my drops or anything. So I can talk about it whenever I feel like it, which is kind of convenient for me. Yeah. So back in this season, we had Winter Cup a few weeks ago. That was pretty exciting. Kind of got through that, and I feel like we're fully recovered. We're pushing forward. So let's get back into NCAA's. A few little things going on. Steven Nedarasic was competing internationally. I believe he was at Baku with. Oh man, I'm blanking. We can look it up. Anyway, I believe he wins gold in Baku. So that was huge for USA. It's pretty cool. Who else was there? Someone was there with him. If I do the thing. The pommel horse guy. Yes. No, it was not. Knockers. Was it Yockers? I forget. Anyway, we sent two pommel horse guys, and Steve Rosick won, and the other one didn't place. So it was pretty cool. But anyway, let's get into what's really going on. What happened last um, week? So looking. Oh, it took us to the girls for some reason. All right, let's just look at the rankings. We haven't really done rankings much this year. Oklahoma's on top right now. They had a huge start. I believe it was like one of the early weeks with a 420. It's unbeatable at this time. I think it was like almost 100% hit percentage that meet. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do that again. If you kind of look at their average, they're at 14.4. That's kind of more where they're really at. Followed by Stanford. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for Stanford. I mean, I think 14 or 416, great score, puts you in the mix. But, you know, like not if Oklahoma's going to do 420. And then if you want to look at their averages, it's like a waste of time. They've had some international appearances. They've been sending people off. Asher Coy was overseas competing. They didn't do well, but they were out for a week. And then they kind of brought in their B team, let them compete a few weeks. So, like, they're not building their average super well. Um, we'll have to see when it all comes together what they're going to really score. Interestingly enough, top of the rankings is our, what is this, Mountain Pacific Sports Federation. So they're above Big Ten right now. That's kind of cool, kind of interesting. Okay, our first Big Ten school, Nebraska, 416. They just threw this up. Before that, they were kind of hanging a little bit lower. So, yeah, we'll see if they can keep holding. Is this a new trend for them, or is it just like a lucky weekend? Illinois has been in the mix the full time. I'm expecting a lot from them. Michigan. So, Michigan, kind of a lot like Stanford, their situation. They came out really strong. They have Fred Richard, Paul Judah, but both of them are all arounders and they're not competing all around. So I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to plan to bring them in later on, let them do all around, or are they just letting them do their Olympic thing? I don't know, but I definitely think their scores could be higher. When it comes down to like my feel for this season, I mean we're looking at a contest between Oklahoma, Stanford, Michigan. Maybe Illinois is in that conversation. I don't. I mean Nebraska's obviously there, but like they're going to have to do some reaching. I mean, they're going to have to find some difficulty someplace. Maybe they're holding back. I mean, Nebraska and Illinois. doesn't have a bunch of like Olympians or anything that they're like unable to use currently. I mean, this is their team, this is their score. So I think Stanford and Michigan have some growing room still, and I think Oklahoma is just a hit percentage thing for them. If they're going to hit, they're going to be awesome. If they're not, they're not. And I don't know, like when it comes down to the big meets, NCAA championships, it's like a hit. They need to come ready to hit, and when the nerves are that high, I don't think you can just rely on hitting. Like you're going to need some difficulty, and that's where I think Michigan and Stanford might have the edge. But it's surprisingly more of a toss-up than I would have thought. I would have thought that Stanford would run away with this season, but I mean, if they want another championship, they're definitely going to have to earn it. No ways, no other ways about it. Ohio is there. They're in striking distance. I think they're going to have to do something big. Penn State was a little bit of disappointment this year. They have some good guys. I just haven't seen them come together. It's like I'm just expecting more from them, and it's just not happening. California is right where I expect them to be. I mean, they're building, and I mean, hoping one year they'll build enough. But yeah, they're just they don't have the difficulty they need. Air Force beat Navy out for I forget what they call it, the Academy Championships or something like that. The U.S. services. But if you look here at the average, Navy has the average over them. So we'll see as we go into NCAA's what Navy does. Greenfield, Greenville is just like the superstar of the newcomers. I mean, they're just killing it. And then we have our Springfield William and Mary Simpson situation down here with Simpson holding up the end. So that's kind of how the season's broken out so far. I mean, anything can happen. We have time. Um, yeah, but I wanted to actually get into the schedule. That's what's coming up. This is where we were. So yeah, so Springfield went up against William and Mary and Army. This is kind of an evenly matched group. You can see just William and Mary just doesn't have it this year. It doesn't have that difficulty. I'm hoping. I think they're going to need to pick up some freshmen or something. Like I don't know. Something needs to happen. But they're slowly getting not competitive, and that is not a good trend. Springfield, I think they've done well for themselves. They just barely missed out on beating Army, but I think they're where they should be. I think for the service academies, that's what I wanted to say earlier. Um, Army needs to pick it up, honestly. They're just kind of not really in the battle. Hopefully, they'll find a way. It's all about recruiting. I think it's a little harder for Army and Navy and Air Force to recruit right now because all these new club teams are popping up. And, you know, if you go into the Army or West Point, is what it is. Like, you have to serve. You know what I mean? And if that's something you want to do, like, I support you 100%. But that's not everybody. You know what I mean? And I think their recruiting has been a little tough lately. But hopefully, we'll see new things, new better things. They've done well for themselves. Greenville, like I said, just stomping it. I mean, I'm hoping Greenville will be up with, like, Michigan, Ohio soon. I think they have the potential. I think they just keep building on what they have. They're a bunch of young talent. In 4 years, they're going to have alumni. Like, ooh, like it could get good. But we'll have to see. Um, but yeah, they just stomped. Is this, what, 30 points? That's ridiculous. Come on, Simpson. Simpson. But, they're both the new teams. They kind of competed a few times this year. Who knows? Injuries, stuff. Okay, what happened here? Ohio State comes out of nowhere and just stomps Michigan. I mean, let's take a deeper look, obviously. But dang, you can kind of see. They edged them out on the floor at the beginning. They got 4 points on Pommel Horse. Whatever, 3-5, whatever. And that's a lot. You can tell they're a little weak in rings. They have a great ring specialist here at Michigan. But they even beat him in vault. And then P bars, high bar. Yeah, I mean, you got to be doing better in high bar with people like Fred Richards and Paul Judah on your team. Let's see what happened. So Cameron Nelson, this is 14.8 is huge for him. I kind of want to see this routine. I'll probably look it up for you guys. Um, yep, taking it. Fred did floor, didn't do great. I mean, it's funny that this guy can be an Olympian on floor, and you really want a bigger score, but we'll see what happens. Pommel horse, I don't even know who Christian is, but this is solid here. Fred just scored a 15 at the beginning of the season, 15-0. I have not seen him get near that since then. I'm a little brutal today, you can tell, but hey, this is the end of the season. We're getting serious here. Javier, this is your go-to ring guy. I mean, he scored 15 last week or 2 weeks ago. Now, but you can tell they must have been judging a lot harder at this meet. Fred in the mix. Good to see him there. Yep. Ohio needs to figure out some ring stuff, though. We kind of knew that already. Boom. Big 15 on the scoreboard. Oh, almost by. Justin almost came up, too. Fred's in the mix. The thing about college gymnastics, I just really want to see someone break away from the COS 1.5. It's just like everyone does it. Once in a while, someone sticks it. But I'm looking for something different. Zach Snyder was up in the 15s previously, a little bit lower this week. Yep, nothing truly exceptionary on P bars. Fred Richards 13.8. Ugh, that's kind of surprising actually. I haven't seen this routine, but he's throwing a ton of release moves, and he's still throwing this free hip to handstand, which isn't even to handstand most of the time. I'm not 100% sure it's a deduction, not to hit handstand, but it's just like that's your in-bar skill, buddy. Like, come on. Ugh. I miss the days when we used to be able to do endo to Healy. Ugh, whatever. It's all good. I think you can figure out some kind of in-bar skill. I mean, maybe like a little Stalder action. Stalder or Balco would be awesome. You got your jams. I don't know where the jams are at. Adler's. Anyway, this is low for him. He's been consistently in the 15s. All right, let's see how Stanford did. I really don't want to see that much about this. We'll run fast. Floor exercise. See, Stanford? Well, Colt's their floor guy, I guess, but this is, you can't. We have Emory Donaldson, Oklahoma, is going 15. Like, come on, guys. We could be mid 14s at least. No, it's so hard. Oh, Coy did floor, and that is unimpressive. For somebody who you would consider putting on your floor squad for the Olympics, it's like, come on, guys. But he's all about clean, so maybe he wasn't clean. It's really unfortunate. Oh, Asher. I just noticed this name down here. And Taylor, too? Yeah, Stanford. You see, this is a lot. This is what I'm talking about. Like, they need to pick this up. They need to be scoring higher. Anyway, I said I wouldn't stay too long. Like, I want to see Coy Young up here, the top. I don't know, Coy. Like, you're supposed to be a great pommel horse guy. You're just not impressive. Like, I don't know what happened on your international assignment, but ever since then, you've just been lagging. JR's up here, looks strong. I kind of want to see this. It's unfortunate. Stanford doesn't really publish their routines afterwards. A lot of the Big Ten does, but I wish Stanford would. Rings. Asher Hong has been becoming more and more of a ring guy. Like, I really appreciate it. He has the body type for it. I do kind of get a little bit of ring specialist vibes from him, and I'm glad he's kind of leaning into it. But yeah, man, you're supposed to be doing the best vault in the world, and you're not doing it. Killing me. I'd love to see you come through P bars, pommels, floor. Asher's got some work if he wants to make the Olympic team. Well, Coy, I guess, hit a great vault. So more power to him. He's always been good in vault. Obviously, he was in worlds for vault. I think he came in with third in the world. So I mean, this should be the norm. I am brutal today, but yeah, I'm expecting these Stanford guys to do better. Didn't say one thing about Air Force. They need to do some work. I mean, these service academies really need to up their game a little bit. I like what they're doing, but they're not there yet. Koi comes up on P bars. Did we have an Asher? No, Asher did not do P bars. It's funny that I look at Asher and Koi as the leaders of Stanford, but they actually have a lot more depth and a lot more seniors. Brandon's good. This is solid. This is what I expect from Asher, 13.65. And you got to get some release moves. Well, that's the story. I mean, I knew they were going to win, so it's hard to say I'm impressed by it. I mean, actually, this is a good score for Air Force. I shouldn't really be too mean for them. I mean, they would have beat Army in Springfield. They would have beat Greenville. I mean, Air Force looking good. Really nothing about them. They beat Navy. They beat Navy. Speaking of Navy, let's see how Oklahoma did. Yeah, runs away with it. 22 points differential. Let's go for. Oh, interesting. They didn't have Emery on floor. But this is a solid lineup, as you would expect. What did Navy do? Interesting. I don't think Navy's even. Who's the. Navy has a really good guy on the national team. Oh, Yockers? I didn't catch this. Crap. Yockers was a 15.05. That's impressive. I didn't catch that. That's my bad. Okay, so go Yockers, 15.05. Um, that's a huge score for him. And this is why they do good, okay? Like, this is not great, but they have Emery with a 15 on floor. They have Yockers with 15. Like, this is a huge bump to your score. That's what Stanford needs to do. What we got going on here? Yep. Yeah, this is great. This is a great score. I mean, it's not a 15. P bars. I always forget that Yockers does P bars. Interesting. High bar. So you kind of can see it's, yeah, it's what it is. I, I, I mean, they're going to have to do a little bit more, I think. Like, I'm afraid that Stanford's going to show up and have an amazing meet. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that they can score just a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's move on. Back to the thing. We wanted to look at Nebraska versus Illinois before I get too carried away. So you can kind of see here what we got. We went Nebraska running away on floor, killing on pommels too, killing on. This is a great meet for Nebraska. Like, this is high. This is 10 points over Illinois, who's supposed to be really good. Yeah, this is it coming together at the end of the season, which is amazing. What happened on floor? Okay, 14.6 is good. Taylor's supposed to be great at floor, so I expect this. McCool's supposed to do so much better than this. Ugh, I have a I have a soft spot in my heart for floor specialists. So like, I feel for McCool, but I just don't understand how he can't just do a little bit better. Looking for a little bit better. Sorry, I'm doing three things at once right now. It's blowing my mind. It's going to be okay, though. I am a multitasker, they say. So let's look at pommel horse scores. So at the beginning, I don't know if you guys, a lot of people don't follow me that much, but at the beginning of this whole thing, I wanted to keep track of a 15 and up club type scenario. And I've been doing it, you know what I mean? But man, we have had so many 15s this year. It has just been a nightmare trying to keep it together. But it's okay, I'm willing to do it. Because I care about the sport, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm updating the chart yet again. So that's what's going on right now. Anyway, pommel horse, this is what I care about. Brandon Dang coming in. See, I wish he would have hit for, what's it called? Winter Cup. Like, I really am impressed with him. I've been impressed with him for a long time. And I'm just a little bummed out that he didn't get the scores he deserved. You know what I mean? But that's okay. He's showing up for the season now. And 15, what are we going to do? 15:05. Good. Okay. Anyway, rings. What are we looking at? Not that impressive, honestly. Ooh, this is good. Oh, yeah. Taylor's great at um, what's it called? Vault. I know that. I appreciate it. I'm not surprised. I just don't know. In the scheme of things, when I'm looking at some of these other scores, I just feel like there's going to have to be a little bit more. You know what I mean? Everyone needs a little bit more at this time of the year, though, I would say. Okay. On a side note, guys, we are caught up. We are ready to go. Thanks for staying in there with me. Okay, not that impressed. Will, actually. Looks pretty nice. Sam is a great all-rounder. He just hasn't been putting up the high scores this year. I worry for him. And that's what that looks like, okay? So who's the best? Who's the best right now? That's a question. Well, I guess it's Oklahoma. Like, I mean, I don't think I see Oklahoma winning. I see kind of a crazy runoff at the very end. But yeah, I guess I think Oklahoma is the best team right now. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how the season plays out. Um, I just updated my 15 and up list. It's been kind of like destroyed, but hey, we go. Like I said, Yockers just put that 15.5 in there. I put it in there. Brandon had a 15.1 we added. Coy Young finally on for Stanford. And Cameron Nelson was on for Ohio this round. Yeah, like I said, no Paul Judah, really. It seemed that Fred did a few events. Still can't break that 15 on high bar. That would be amazing. If you notice here, it's interesting. Emery got a 15 twice now on floor. But then we have a bunch of pommel guys, a few ring guys, and just like vault. So I'd like to see some other events. You know, I'd like to see like some high bar. Oh, I'd love to see a high bar 15, which would be like insane. But definitely like I feel like people can get it on 15. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see that. But seems like everyone has just about a few people in the mix at this point. Oklahoma has a few 15s. Illinois has Brandon. That's about it, honestly. Stanford has Asher and Coy. Got hoops on pommels. Yeah, Michigan has a few people. Nebraska has a vaulter. Ohio has a vaulter. Two vaulters. So yeah, it's a lot more 15s than I would have thought this year. But yeah, we're rolling. Anyway, that's what that looks like. What does this weekend look like? Okay, dokie. Let's go. Alright, so we have Army versus Springfield. I mean, I feel like we just saw this. So, what do you think? Army versus Springfield. It was close. They're going up again. So, who knows? This actually might be interesting if Springfield can find a way. But they're close. So, that could be fun. Navy, William, and Mary. If we go back to the history of it, Navy, William, and Mary. I don't know. William and Mary needs to do something if they want to be that competitive with that. I don't think they're going to be. So I'm going to give. I think Army wants to win. I think Springfield. I'm going to go for Springfield. I'm looking for the underdog here. Definitely choosing Navy here. This is online, I think in a few minutes, so I'm going to probably try to catch a little bit of it. Ohio versus Illinois. Here we go. This is the match. Well, no, I lied. This is going to be interesting. Both teams are kind of on that low end. I would expect Illinois to be better, but after last weekend, I'm nervous for them. But we'll see. I'm gonna pick Illinois. That's what the good money says. I think Air Force has Simpson, no problem. And then it is finally time, and I hope to goodness that they bring some talent. But man, this this could be this could be the runoff of the season. Like I'm expecting both these teams for sure to be in the finals at the NCAA's. Maybe the front runners. I put this guy up here too. I put Michigan up here too. But if Stanford brings its A team, we'll get a good look at what NCAA's might look like. Not to mention they're in the same conference together, the MSPA or something, and California. I'm sure they'll be there. They have a few interesting things. I think Michigan takes Penn State every day. Sorry, Penn State. I mean, I want you to be better. I want you to. You used to have such good pommel horse guys. Makes me feel sad. Anyway, not the most exciting weekend, but there's something. There's something there. So we totally fell off the map with the Gym Act. I was kind of a little unimpressed recently, but Arizona State's going against Rocky Mountain. I'm pretty sure this is Arizona State's B team, the Maroon, I think they call them. But don't sleep on Rocky Mountain. They have some skills. They definitely do. But I think Arizona State's got this. This is the Gymnastics season is so long. I don't understand why they do what they do. It kind of like lags in the middle here, and then it picks up. We wanted to see how Minnesota was going to do, and they did great. I mean, 319. That's up there. Oh, Southern California United did compete, and unable to take on the Bay Area Bandits, but I'm happy there's a score here. That's great. No one else breaks 300. I mean, it's starting to look like Minnesota versus Arizona State. You know what? We can even play this game. Minnesota. Minnesota. Looking amazing. I watched this interesting piece on Minnesota. Specifically, they have a floor specialist who transitioned from trampoline and tumbling. And he's killing it. I think this is Jackson Harrison. I'm surprised he's the high score still. I think this Charlie Larson is transitioning from TNT into gymnastics and supposed to be a floor specialist. I really don't know that much about him. No, this is someone else. This is still rings and such. Now they're supposed to have a really strong floor specialist. Anyway, whatever. I'm not that stressed about it. But will be, well, honestly, I think Minnesota has it. This is the bottom line. I think we're going to need to see a little bit more from Arizona State if they really want to beat them. Is it Henry? There's somebody they have. This floor special supposed to be really good. Ah, well. Now I broke the computer. Anyway, guys, we'll see what happens. Not much going on in Gym Act right now. What's going to happen is NCAA's will happen and Gym Act will keep going. And that's when Gym Act will be really fun because they'll be winding up for their Gym Act finals. They do like a conference thing and then they do a finals. I think they ended up being like 4 teams will go to the finals or something. Anyway, we'll keep you in touch. National stuff is going on for national team. I kind of talked about who I would pick for national team last time, so I'm not going to go over that again. This is what I wanted to say. So, Verdius will have William and Mary in 11 minutes. So, if anyone wants to catch that. And I was going to say later today, if you're a gymnastics fan, they will show the Stanford, Cal, Oklahoma meet, which I think is going to be like massive. Okay, like this is the first time we'll be able to look at Oklahoma versus Stanford head to head, same judges, score to score, and we're going to see who the best is. Right here it says number 2 Stanford versus number 1 Oklahoma. Anyway, have a good one, guys. I'm out.